You know, some cars are so much more than just a way to get around. They're basically rolling sculptures, they're historical artifacts, and they come with price tags that just absolutely defy logic. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and uncover the secrets behind what makes a single car worth more than an entire fleet of private jets. I mean, it's a wild question, right? We hear about million-dollar supercars all the time, but the cars we're talking about today, they exist in a completely different universe. They aren't just fast, they are literally pieces of history that you can touch. They were there for these incredible moments of human greatness. $143 million. No, that is not a typo. That is the actual record-setting price for one single car sold at auction. So the real question is, what on earth could possibly make any machine worth that much money? And here it is. The King, the most valuable car ever sold to the public. Only 2 of these were ever made, and this car is the perfect embodiment of every single element of extreme value that we're about to break down. This is our case study. Okay, so a price tag like $143 million, it doesn't just come from one place. It's this incredible, rare mix of history, artistry, and pure engineering genius. So let's break down that formula. These are pretty much the 4 pillars of insane value. First, you've got extreme rarity. And I mean, we're talking about single digits, sometimes just 1 or 2 cars left in the entire world. Then you have brand prestige, but it's more than just a cool logo. It's this deep, earned respect from collectors over decades. You add in a jaw-dropping, game-changing design, and most importantly, a real significant history. You mix all that together, and that's the recipe. And what's interesting is that these legendary cars usually get to the top of the mountain one of 2 ways. On one hand, you have the rolling art, like the Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic, a car that's valued almost purely for its breathtaking, sculptural beauty. And on the other hand, you have the racing machine, like the Ferrari 250 Testarossa. That car is valued not really for how it looked, but for what it did, which was just completely dominate on the racetrack. And, you know, that racing history, it really seems to be the most powerful ingredient of all. Because while a beautiful design and being super rare are critical, it's the human story, the story forged in the fire of competition that truly turns a great machine into a timeless myth. Look, a car can win big races. It can be part of a championship-winning team, and that alone, for sure, makes it valuable. It gives it a fantastic story. But there's one specific thing, this X factor, that acts as a massive multiplier, launching its value into a whole other solar system. And this is the whole secret right here. When a truly legendary driver gets behind the wheel of that car, it's no longer just a participant in history. The car itself becomes a physical piece of that driver's story. It's like it absorbs their greatness. Let's just call it the Fangio factor. The Mercedes W196R was an incredible Formula One car all on its own, but the specific W196R driven by the absolute titan of motorsport, Juan Manuel Fangio, well, that became something else entirely. It became a direct physical connection to greatness, and collectors happily paid over $50 million for that connection. The driver's legacy is literally imprinted on the metal. So we get the ingredients, right? We get the Fangio factor, but how do we get a hard number? How is all that history actually measured in dollars? Well, it's not set by a car company. That truth is only ever revealed in the crazy high-stakes world of a public auction. This gets us to something called true market value. And it's not just a sticker price. It's what happens when passionate, really knowledgeable collectors start bidding against each other, right out in the open. It is the purest, most honest expression of what something is truly worth to the people who care about it the most. And just look at the difference here. A brand new supercar has a really high retail price. Sure, set by the company that made it. But a classic car's market value, proven at auction, can absolutely dwarf that number. It's because one is just a product price. The other is a historical valuation. So when you see one of these cars sell for tens of millions of dollars, that final price, it's more than a number. It's a verdict. It is the entire community of top collectors voting with their wallets and basically declaring, yes, this object holds this specific, undeniable place in history. But this whole thing raises a really fascinating question. how does the value of these historical legends stack up against the most expensive, most exclusive cars being built right now? I mean, are they even valued for the same reasons? Yeah, this chart really puts it all into perspective. The 300 SLR, its value comes from its racing history and the fact that it's unbelievably rare. It's an artifact sold at a public auction. The modern Rolls-Royce Boat Tail, on the other hand, it gets its value because it's a totally unique, one-of-a-kind private commission. It's a bespoke luxury item, not a piece of public history. And that's really the simplest way to put it. The classic legends are trophies of the past, valued for the incredible history they made. The modern marvels are trophies of the present, valued for the unique statement they make today. So after all of this, what's the real secret sauce? What takes a car into that 9-figure club? It's not actually the physical parts, not the metal, the engine, or the paint. It's the intangible. It's the story, the legend, the myth that the car carries with it through time. That is what people are truly buying. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought. Most of us don't have a 9-figure car sitting in the garage, but the principle is the same for all of us. If the true worth of an object is its story, what's the most valuable story that you own?